Hi guys. So sorry about that other live. I actually set it for tomorrow and I didn't mean to. So I will delete it later when I figure out how. So I feel like such an idiot. Hello. Sorry I'm late. We've been trying to put stuff together for the Jolissa validation video. We are actually going to make a video like by itself and then release it. And we just decided to do a live because it's just easier that way. It's just going to be easier. I just have to wait for Vanished and Forgotten to come on here because she's got like extra screens, and so she's going to show you guys videos and things like that. We're going to go over my readings and we're going to just match stuff up. First and foremost, my condolences go out to friends and families of Jolissa Fuentes. What the heck happened? Cat, you stepped on my... Oh, dang it. Sorry. My cat stepped on my phone. So my condolences go out to friends and families of Jolissa. It's tough. Can you guys hear me now? I know my mic went out for a second. I know. Can you hear me now? That's what happens when I mess with this mic. For some reason, it goes out. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. My bad. I shouldn't mess with the mic. It just kind of swings and I was trying to fix it. But anyways, first of all, I don't know if she'll see this, but I want to thank Marcia Hendricks for my gift. I got a heated blanket, which I'm gonna need because I don't have heat. So it's awesome. Thank you so much for that blanket. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't want to waste too much time here. Let me give her the link so she can come on. What? Okay, that's fine. So I guess if we have to repeat ourselves, it is because she's got a lag on her side. So she's gonna be coming on. She's been working really hard on this, getting all the videos and stuff that we needed for the validations. We're gonna be playing back my readings, which I did find out that Kylie's number 2 reading, the interconnect, was not the Reno couple. That was just a random vision I think I was getting into the trees. The number 2 starts about 15 minutes into the Kylie's second reading. It's about 15:30 is when Jolissa pops in, and she goes till about 19 minutes, and then she pops back out, and it comes back to Kylie. So that's what happens when I channel, when I type, which is what I did in that reading. Is I was typing, channeling. So I noticed I get a lot more interconnects that way. Then when I did Jolissa's first reading, it was kind of a crappy reading, honestly. I think it was because I was tired from getting all the visions all week. I was overworked and underpaid. No, I was overworked and I was not feeling good. If you guys remember, I had the sniffles. I think it was just because I was overly tired. So that was not a great reading, but I needed to take a day or whatever. And then I started getting visions when I started talking to a family member. And then, so the impressions video is the good video for Jolissa and everything and about what they would be looking for. So we're probably not going to play the first reading because really all I got in that reading, I just listened to it, was her state of mind. Like, she was upset. She was emotional. She had been drinking. She was, she was just driving because she was upset. And so that's kind of how it came in. That's basically all that came in that reading. And I really don't understand their reference of the car that they kept referencing in that case. I really don't know if they were referencing Kylie back, or I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if it was the state of mind of that person. I keep trying to figure it out and I just don't understand it. So anyways, I'm going to bring her on. She's been working really hard on this and we're going to, hopefully this will be a good video for you guys. Thank you for being a member. It's very much appreciated. Okay. There she is. We're both looking kind of like,
Right.
we've been working so hard on little Quentin that we were talking till like 5 o'clock in the morning, and poor vanished and forgot and fell asleep on the phone with me because I needed I needed to get my mind off that because I was very obsessed with the map going back and forth from home to work. Stop. And now I know why. So we know why. So here we go. Yes, Danielle's actually we'll be doing a validation video on that once he's been found, because I found a lot of stuff out as far as why I was feeling almost halfway between work and home. Because that's basically where she went to. It's basically not very far from Bojangles. So that's why I was getting 2 locations where she was dumped, and then, the trash truck picked up the trash can and they make that noise. And then the area where the I never got the landfill, but I got the church right next to the landfill. And so I did talk about that in video 1. And video 2 is just about if you keep driving, you do hit the preserve and stuff. So I notice if I do more videos and I try to get location, I get myself further away. So we're always going to go with like my first location, I think. I'm learning and not think about it too much. So anyways, we're going to go back to Jolissa now. I'm going to put this on the screen. Thank you so much for being a new member. I need to put up real quick my banners. Okay. So here we go. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. I don't know what you're showing first. So I'm leaving all that up to you. I'm just here.
Okay.
Gotta take this bottle away. Hello, Alyssa. Thank you so much. You're driving me crazy.
Did it go?
We're new to this technology stuff here. Yeah. So we do have a little bit of lag on her side. Just be a little patient.
Okay. So I have everything on here.
Okay.
I think we should start with the videos.
Do Kylie's the one with Kylie first? You mean the readings? And yeah, we'll do the readings first. Yeah. Kylie's Interconnect. Yep, that one. Perfect. Okay.
It's loading, sorry.
Be a little bit patient with us.
Right? I'm like, why is it?
We're new to this whole thing.
What's going on?
I know, we need some high-speed internet for you over there.
I know. Greg's got a box coming for us.
I don't know if it's saying a curve or what, but it's a road sign. So that in the first reading is coming in again, so it's important.
Hear it.
I also get like 45 miles per hour, so I don't know if there is a 45 mile per hour zone before that, around there, something. But also getting the back of my neck hurting. So I'm starting to think she's not
No
water, and that was one thing I was trying to see. Because when I first got it, it wasn't very clear. And
hey, can you pause it for a second?
The deer, but I didn't really see where she went.
So this part we're watching is the part where Jolissa pops in out of nowhere. Like, I'm trying to do Kylie. I get a lot on Kylie if you watch the beginning of the reading. And then right here with the curve sign is where Jolissa pops in. And I didn't realize it at the time until I watched it back today. I actually thought it was the Reno couple, but Reno couple was just a random vision of a car crashing through trees. So I didn't really do a reading on that. But this it's Kylie's second reading, and it's 15:30 is when Jolissa pops in. So that's what I'm talking about now, and that's why I was a little confused, at that time if Kylie was in water or not. Okay, go. You can play it now.
And it felt like that. She might have flown into water. But in my Chrissy reading, I kept getting an accident of someone going off the road and being like this down in the trees. And I was kind of getting that feeling again. So it's that kind of accident I was seeing. And I do always get information before in other readings. So that's where my interconnects come in. And Chrissy, because she just showed me that she was in a car and I got medical stuff, but I couldn't see anything around her. I think she was just telling me she's in the car or whatever. And I had a dream she was going to be found. So there wasn't.
Come on.
Buffer.
Right.
I disappeared.
I know.
Really much else. So that's when other things came in. And since I get information before I ever work on a case, I'm wondering if that's why I was getting this. And then I got it a day or so before Kylie went missing. So, but the closer I get to this, the more anxiety I get. Like the closer I get to this, like what happened. So again, I get this vision with the buck in the roadway. Lights hit it, and it feels like her eyes closed for a split second, and then like they close for a split second, and then they open, and then the lights hit this buck, and then the lights go off because I'm swerved, and she swerves and tries to miss the deer and loses control. I hear the word embankment, and I feel like I'm going face down this embankment, but there are trees further down. I feel like the top isn't very heavily wooded, but lower down is heavily wooded, and I feel like it would be hard to see the car because there's all these trees around it. I get a creek below me or some kind of flowing water, and then a pond to my right. If I'm facing down this embankment, and I keep getting that 5. So I think it has something to do maybe within 5 miles. Pretty good with my mileage sometimes. I mean, Riker, I said within 3 miles, and he was 2.4 miles. So it feels important. So kind of feels like she hit the big trees like further down, which again is what I got in the prior reading, but it's at the bottom. But it's heavily wooded, so I mean I don't think that they can see her. But this is why my head was hurting, and then there's some kind of head trauma, and I get the front of the car is kind of like bent in, and I feel like her car's kind of wedged with the trees. I feel like there's one in front and definitely one on kind of all around her. But I asked her if she's in the water. I heard no, but it's close. And then I feel like the creek isn't far. Like if you keep going down, you'll hit some kind of running water or something like that in front of her further down. I feel there's some kind of pond or something to her right if you're facing down the embankment. And I keep seeing a ton of trees covering her. Like if the helicopters flew over, they wouldn't see her. And there's a reference to my chest area, and I feel bruised. She said she was too injured and stuck to get out of the vehicle. My head was hurting more now, and I've got really bad anxiety. At this point, really bad when we're talking about this part of the reading. I hear tell my family I love them, and I keep seeing her smile. She had a way about her, very full of life, a free spirit sort of person. And then I felt super nauseous again. And I kind of don't feel all that well at all. The way maybe it's the way she was feeling wasn't helpful, but I also am getting this pressure in my face now. She keeps saying I should have gotten a ride. I just wanted to go home.
I think that was it for that one.
Then Kylie pops in about wanting to go back home. So that was the whole Jolissa thing. And as you can see, I mean, it pretty much matches, and we'll show the area and the drone footage and all of that. So pretty much, yeah. So I think the next thing is the screenshots, because I talked to her first, and then I did the other impression video, because I got this information kind of just randomly. Let's see if I can. Oh wait, I can't read that. No way. Crap. Okay, so these are screenshots. I'll have to read them from my phone.
Wonder why it's
I can I cannot see those. Did you go in order from the way that I sent them to you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll just go one screenshot at a time,
Wonder why it's like.
because I just can't read them. This is just proof that I, had it. So I said, I have a question. Have they checked it? Wooded leads down to the water at all, like to the river? No, like trees is what I consider wooded along the river, because one thing I remember from when I was working on Kylie was, the embankment crash. But then there was another one. It was stuck in the trees, and the water was just beyond, like a river or creek. And she says, that's what I wish I knew, is what time her phone pinged out there, because I feel like she was out there, she wouldn't be by herself. The roads are windy. But I didn't agree with that. I believe she did go out there to kind of drive around and clear her head. So I said, oh, it's not like that there, because that just came to my mind and I don't really know why. If this is an interconnect like I'm thinking it is, I just feel like another accident, probably just because her car is missing with her kit, reminded me of that. Again, I'm wondering, so the area out there, is there any area that's kind of wooded? I know it's different out there. It's like farmland. Then I talk about how like I used to live in an area where it was like similar. And then I was like, because she was drinking, right? And she was upset. And you said the road is windy. I'm pretty sure it's easy to crash. I didn't see anybody taking her. Okay. That's not coming in, because she was at Avocado Lake. And then it's, like I'm thinking the interconnect is another crash. I hate to say that to you, because I just hate to say it, but I'm getting that vision again with water beyond the tip of the car. And I'm thinking, I'm talking to you. So I'm just wondering if she can't be seen from the road. Also, I feel like there's a curve at the top where the road is. So then it's weird, because this is kind of chilling, and I didn't recognize it at the time. She said, I'm looking at the map to see Trimmer Spring Road looks really bad, which is basically where she was found. I said, because it's weird, when I was looking at the map, I kept like being pulled towards the river, but I don't see anywhere she could have went in. So then I kind of just talk about how, so Steep heard about, I talked to text, darn it, a car being pulled out of the water. It might have been pulled off an embankment. I just saw it like in the air, being, like how they would pick it up. I don't know how to explain that. I'm wondering if my embankment crash is for two different cases now. Hey, what the heck was that? I apologize. Holy crap. That literally came out of nowhere. It's okay. What the? That was spirit. There was no sound, no nothing. I apologize for that. Holy crap. And that dog can't even hear, so it wasn't nothing it heard. I apologize. I said she's missing, and I think she's one of them, because she's missing with her car, and I didn't see anybody around her. Like, I kept looking, and I didn't see like anything happen to her. I didn't see her kidnapped or anything like that. I didn't like her state of mind. I didn't like the way she was driving. I don't really like the whole situation. So we're looking for an area that's an embankment next to a curve. If there's any of those with a bunch of trees, and like the tip of the trees would be water. So basically, this is just a conversation where I'm telling her, You know, she's not where her friend passed. She's basically up there. I sent her the picture that I like have I posted on my other video, and I told her that I like drew it, and you know, that's the one with the cars and trees and everything. So it's weird because then she says after that, she's like, see that Trimmer Springs Road? It's long road, it's all along lakes. So she had it, but for some reason she didn't go look. I don't know. Then I talked about I said that the trees were hiding her in another one, which I've said many times. That's why they couldn't see her. I said I don't know why I got that. If she's around there before or what, it's like a reference point, the Avocado Lake. So looking for an area that described, I know the maps won't show an embankment or is wooded. She's like, I'm definitely posting this on the family chat at that point. Maybe someone can go and look before and you can't see from the roads. I said the vision was gone until till I got what Kylie was, and then it came back. And then I said it just makes sense because she's missing with her car, and I saw the car being pulled up. And she says yes, that they went out there like by Avocado and started looking around, and she said I was released that you can hear the water or something like that is what she was talking about at Pine Flat that day. I asked if there was deer in the area, and I said, P, are we on that part? I don't know where we're at on the screenshots. I said, and this was August 25th, by the way, at 10:30 p.m. P could be Pine Flat looking at it now, is what I told her. I said, this is interesting. And then I sent her more information. Then I said, would you mind if I put this live? Maybe it would help. Maybe it'd help. I have people from that area, I believe. And then she said, okay, definitely. I said, I just want to make sure, see if people can help. She said, I feel like my family would take any help they can get. And then we saw what happened with that. And I said, I can't see around the accident, and that's validation for me. This area fits from what I'm seeing as well as her pings. I try to see someone around her, and I can't. I don't think the area has been thoroughly searched like it should be. A bystander found the Reno couple, but unfortunately, it's a repeating vision I can't seem to get past. So it was one of those things where it was like, you know, I said, I can't tell if there's an embankment or not, but it's definitely like a curve where it goes down, and we just noticed that. So it could be important. And then they're like, well, we drove out there. We seen skid marks, but they went into the hillside, which is weird. I said, not necessarily. It could have hit the hill and bounced off, but sometimes there's major evidence of a car, and sometimes there's not. So this is the point where I'm like, there doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be car parts lying around, you know? I was like, look at Kylie and the couple, but like neither of them, there was much evidence that a car went down. And she's like, yeah, I didn't see no car parts either. It was skid marks going through the hillside and then nothing. I don't know where she was at when she saw that. I said there may have not been any, but they may not be hers either. There's not always huge evidence. Then this is where I think maybe the family just didn't want to go watch, because they said, we went out to the pond area last night, but it was so dark. We were going out this afternoon. My husband needs to relax a little. My sister just called and said something about Jolissa's ex-boyfriend and something about you're not going to find her car because it's in his garage. So basically they had their mind made up that it wasn't an accident at that point. And, you know, that was it. I said, I don't know. All I see is accident, which making me, you know, I was like, I can't see anything else. So that's what it is. So I just want to post that. She did. I mean, basically it's everything that I have put in the next video that we're going to watch, which I don't even know if we need to watch the whole thing, but I didn't have a chance to go through and listen to the whole reading and timestamp it for you guys. So, Tammy, when we do this, do you want to just go like when I start describing it, because we don't have to listen to that whole reading on the other one, start describing it, and then we'll show like the pictures and stuff whenever I talk about whatever it looks like. I don't know. I I do feel Jolissa was alive when she crashed. Yes. Like I said, if you listen to the second reading I just played, I said her eyes closed for a second. So I don't know if that means that she maybe fell asleep for a second or what, but her eyes closed for a second. And then when she opened them, and plus I think she took the corner too fast. That's very, very curvy road. If you guys have ever seen that road, it's just ridiculously curvy. I mean, she really shouldn't have been driving out there in the first place. Like I said, I think she was bored and she wanted to go do something. That's the way it came across. So after I sent all those messages to the cousin, I decided that's when I come on here and I was like, look, this is an accident. Like, it finally became clear, and that's why I said after the first reading, I was overworked and I was just exhausted, and I needed a break to kind of let everything become clear, and then it did. All right, ready when you are, girl. Are you talking? I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Is it the first one? The first reading?
No, we're not going to do the first one. There's going to be the impression one, not the one that says Dylan or Susan on it or anything. Just the impression one, because that's after I sent those, those messages. I did a live like that evening.
Okay.
And this is one reason that I'm posting this for you guys. It's not only just for validation, but there's no foul play with this. There's no foul play with Kylie. They were both just accidents that happened on the same weekend, and that's the way that it came in. And I think you guys follow me because I've kind of proven myself. If there's evidence of something opposite than what I'm saying, but there's not so far. We haven't got the autopsy or anything back on Jolissa, but Kylie's came out today, and it was an accident, and people pushing the narrative of a foul play. Sorry, not everything is an accident. It's just not. Foul play. Everything's not foul play. Everything's not a conspiracy. Sometimes accidents happen, is what I meant to say. Unfortunately, it's easily done. Things happen. It doesn't mean anybody's behind it. So, because people tried to sway me many times, and I was like, no, I got to go with what spirit gets. And I always got to go with what spirit gets. Like, just, even if it's something different than what someone else says, I just have to stick with it. That was a big lesson that I'm having to learn through all of this. So regardless what people are saying, I have to stick with it. No, this was not foul play. No, she was not ran off the road. She was literally driving, I think, a little too fast. I said a curve. It's right off the curve. She took the curve a little too fast, and I think she closed her eyes for a second. I think the deer might be symbolic for like a deer in the headlight kind of feeling. It's possible that's symbolic, or there was something in the road that we're not aware of. Did you find it?
I did. I'm just trying to get it to load. My computer is being slow.
Hello, Terry. Lynn. Hold on a second. She's.
Bye. Get out. Out. I'm putting him to bed.
I don't know why this is not.
Yeah, cases are sad, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we all have our time and place. Sometimes it's just, it's hard to understand from a human perspective, you know, but we're never promised tomorrow, that's for sure. But when it came to these two, they were an interconnect because they were in accidents that happened on the same weekend, and they were very like similar kind of circumstances. They both had been to a party and whatnot. So that's why I talk about my interconnects. Reno couple was just, it wasn't in a reading, I guess. It was just like an image of a car going through trees. It's right there. 1, 2, 3, 5, the fifth one. There you go. We're probably not going to play this whole one. We're just going to play it till you guys get we're just going to play enough because I just jabbered on about what I was seeing. So, you know, you could probably cut out the very beginning, you know, fast forward the very beginning. I actually don't know when it starts. I think 5:10 is something I wrote down when I started doing times. And then we're just going to go to, you know, till you guys get the idea, and then we'll play the other videos, and then that'll be it. Which you guys have probably already seen, I'm sure. But no, and you know what's crazy is like ever since like this came back, there's certain times that I see that accident and I just there was no foul play. There was nobody following her, no one chased her off the road. It was just like the guy said, a perfect storm. You know, she probably was falling asleep. She'd been drinking and smoking and driving and dark and you know, just something a 22-year-old would do. Both of these girls are really young, you know. We all make mistakes when we're kids. Hello, Cindy. Or when we're young teenagers or young adults. I mean, we don't make the best decisions. There's times I look back and I'm like, man, how did I make it this far? And I think we all can kind of relate to that. No, I'm serious. I made some stupid decisions and I wonder like how I made it home, you know? I thought about that a lot. So, I mean, I'm a non-judgmental person. I know what it is to be young and not very, you know, not very smart in your choices. It's just.
Yeah. Can we start?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I think I kind of understand my last reading a little bit more anyways, I should say. So I think the reason that I was drawn to the Avocado Lake is because that's where she was known to be at, or where her ping was. It was from there to Pine Flat or whatever. So I think that was my pool there. Seeing the car pulled up is going to have a different meaning because I didn't see it pulled up from water. I just saw it pulled up like if it's pulled up from a crash. So if you guys remember, I disappeared again. I keep doing a disappearing act. I was getting like a bunch of different visions. Okay. I was getting besides Kylie, I didn't get Kylie's until later on in the week, till Wednesday. That's when.
Come on. I'm going to shut off my camera and see if I can get that.
When that vision started repeating. Before that, I'm now realizing there were two different visions. Okay. I was getting this car that was crashing through trees. So I figured out that that's the Reno couple. The separate vision that I got, which I thought it was all one, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's not. It was crashing through the trees and it would stop. So that I feel. Oh, I muted that. Trees, like
the way that I see it, I'll try to explain it the best way that I can. And this is the drawing that I did. Is say here's the tree. I see the front of the car like this and kind of caved in. And on this side is another tree. So it's like pinned between two trees. Just beyond the bumper of that car is water. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not a reading, but I guess. So this is for entertainment purposes only. I guess I could go back and say that. I wasn't doing a reading. I was just talking, so I didn't even think about it. So, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is a no fact. This is
such
all,
a dork.
yeah, just like medium impressions. What else? Viewer discretion is advised. I mean, I can't remember. I haven't actually said that on a couple of my videos, which is probably bad. So anyways, all the ways to support me down below. So back to what I was saying.
Dork.
So now I'm realizing that those were two separate visions. I didn't realize that before because it was kind of coming in one part, would come in at one time, and then another part would come in at another time. So I had a lot going on in my mind that whole week. So then after the embankment couple were found, Jeanette and Jose, then I was able to see Kylie, and then I was kind of stuck on what happened to Jolissa, right? But if you guys remember, the last thing that I said was, she seemed upset. She drank a little bit. I see her driving with the radio on, and then I saw a car being pulled up, like they would pull it up from either a lake or a embankment or wherever they pull up a car from. So I kept saying that. I didn't actually see her go in water, but I wanted Avocado Lake cleared first before I continued because I just didn't let go of Avocado Lake because it feels like it's important for a reference point. So this was this just to refresh your guys' memory. Nope, that's not what I want. Hold on one second. I always do the wrong thing on this. Slides. And I was gonna do this before I came on here and I forgot. I apologize. Okay. So I think this is another interconnect. I think we've got 3 interconnects all missing with their car. And I think that Jolissa's been in an accident. Because I don't see anybody around her. I didn't see anybody take her. It's like all I can see is her driving in the car. The fact she's missing with the car, I think it's possible that she's also down in the trees where you can't see her from the road. And the reason why this one makes sense is because, okay, so we're talking about the pond. Now, in a vision, a pond and lake can look very similar depending on how big the lake is. That Avocado Lake is not very big, not on a map anyways. So this pond can actually be a pond or lake, just a body of water. Okay, remember, I'm seeing it in a vision. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between a creek, a river, and a pond and a lake. So what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to describe is what I've been seeing. So I started talking to her cousin, and once I started talking to her cousin, this vision came back. So it was no longer the vision crashing through the trees. It's just I have this car that's stuck here in these trees, and here's the water, and here's the pond. Now, if you look at the area, it does match this, actually, because there is a road that goes back here that runs kind of along the river. Because I spoke to the cousin, there are embankment areas, and there are trees down here. And if she went into the trees, she would be very close to the river. It's almost like she would have hit the river, but a tree stopped her kind of thing. That's how it's coming across. And then this is going to be probably Avocado Lake. So Avocado Lake's going to be on this side. I was getting a P name, which there is a road out there. I probably cannot say it right. I probably won't say it right.
That's when I thought it was Pateron.
Yeah.
But it could go for Pine Flat.
As far as
trafficking
or anything like that, I don't get that. And actually,
that's not something that happens. I mean, it is in certain areas, but it just doesn't feel that way with this. I feel kind of like I did with Kylie, because I see her in her car by herself. Okay. And so this area would fit the pinged area. So I think she's somewhere in that pinged area. It's just maybe they're not finding her. What is the name of that freaking place? It starts with a P. Hold on. I know she sent it to me, but now I gotta find it because I don't remember the name of it. It's a weird name. Pateron. Okay. So I was getting a P before I looked at the map again. There is a Pateron like further up. So I told her that's maybe a reference.
Texts and seen the trimmer said it.
We're gonna be looking between probably between Avocado Lake and Pateron or whatever it's called. That's what kind of feels right to me, because since I've talked to her cousin, I'm now getting this repeating vision again. That's kind of, now this is driving me insane. I'm back to being driven insane by the repeating vision again. So
I was being driven
like I said,
insane.
I don't see her being kidnapped. I don't see anything. I don't see anybody. I found out that she was like wanting to spend time with her brother, and that's possibly why she got upset, is because she's close with her brother. Her brother didn't want to spend time or couldn't spend time with her, so therefore things changed. I kind of feel like she wasn't in a good mood. Maybe she was a little emotional, and she went to go maybe clear her head or hang out somewhere or something. I don't know if this would be where my buck belongs, or if it belongs back with them, back with the Reno couple. But if you see, this is all interconnects. They're all missing with their car. They're all missing around the same time. And it feels like they're all accidents. And it's kind of weird. This is just how my patterns and my interconnects work. And I notice them because it seems to be that's just how it works with me. I wish I kind of could say that she was off alive somewhere at this point. I mean, I just keep getting this crash again. So looking at the area, if you pull up Avocado Lake, you would look at Avocado Lake in California. And the reason why I wanted to put this out there is because I know that I might have some people in the area out there that follow my channel that might go look. You're not going to be able to see her from the road. It's going to be, you could see her from the riverside. Okay, maybe even the other side of the river. I'm not sure on that. And I feel like it's right by a curve, either right before or right after. Like a curve seems to be significant, and that's weird because I even put a little curve here on this picture. So this could be a lake or a pond. Like I said, it's in a vision. It's a little body of water, and then this creek or river right here. So it's like I see the trees. Okay, these trees are my hands, and the car is like this on one of the trees. But then right here is the river. Like right beyond the bumper, if you were to go beyond the bumper, beyond that tree, is water. Like really, really close. Like almost the trees like stop. So it is possible the reason why I saw the car being pulled up was because if we find her, then they're going to be pulling the car up from that area. And that's why I kept saying that, because I couldn't really see where the car is being pulled up from. I still wanted Avocado Lake clear just because it was such a pull to that lake. But like I wasn't seeing a vision like I did with Kylie where I saw her in the water or anything like that. But I thought it was still a possibility. So it's kind of weird. I had to let go of it for a couple days. And like I said, I've been chatting with the cousin, and they're very open. They are open to anything at this point because they have absolutely nowhere to they have absolutely nowhere to look and nowhere to go.
So that's kind of where I think she is. So it would be that area really needs to be combed like a lot. Not just with a helicopter, because with trees you can't really see, because I feel like again she's hidden with trees from the road. So now I'm getting that the couple was like just the crashing through the trees, but this was a different vision. But because they came in around the same time, it was a little confusing. So that's why when it came to, and I'm sorry if I'm being confusing, I'm just like you guys, I'm trying to figure it out, because sometimes things come in like this and you just kind of have to figure out why you're getting it, where and what, and all of that. So that's why we couldn't find a pond and a creek on the other one. But I did see a car crashing through trees, but that was the Reno couple. So they just showed me crashing through trees. That was it on that one. Then this one is a different vision, because I literally just see the car crashed into a tree. I don't actually see it going down the embankment. It's just showing me where the car actually is in placement. And I'm seeing it like I'm inside the car, which isn't very helpful. So it's like I'm sitting in the car and I can see the tree in front, and there's a tree on the side, and then there's like a river below. River, creek, water, river. And then Avocado Lake, I think, is going to be that pond, because I think she's going to be within that ping area, because it last pinged at Avocado Lake. So I don't think she's actually very far from the lake.
Which I found out today that the ping actually went to Pine Flat. So I guess that would put us closer. I remember I was kind of drawn to that Zeb Cove. I was noticing that, but I didn't understand my pools the way I do now. I ignore them back then. I'm looking back, I'm like, dang it. All right, you can play it again.
That ping area, they need to look where there's clumps of trees down an embankment by a curve is what I'm getting. And this may also have a curve sign as well, because I'm seeing that now as there being a curve sign. So I don't see any guys take her. I just feel like her state of the mind was, she was upset because she had nobody to hang out with. She wanted to hang out with someone. She was a little emotional, and I don't think the drinking helped. And I don't know if it was just because it was dark. Maybe she'd been drinking. She was emotional. Maybe she took the curve a little too fast. There's something in that, because I'm not seeing the actual crash. Same thing with Kylie. I don't see the actual crash. I just saw where she was. And it was weird, because like with the Reno couple, I saw just a car go through trees. So it's kind of weird. I know it's kind of weird, but the way that this is all coming in, and this is because it's an interconnect. So because they're all, like I said, accidents, and I kind of hope I'm wrong and that she's just alive somewhere. I really hope that that's the situation, and maybe she took off. Unfortunately, I feel like because her phone pinged at Avocado Lake that this is right. I don't think anybody went to Avocado Lake and took her. That's not how it comes across. It comes across like I'm out by myself. I'm taking a drive and something happens where I lose control of my car. And again, I didn't like her really state of mind. And usually when we are missing, someone is missing with their car. Not always. There are exceptions. There are a lot of times we're noticing it is an accident, right? The Reno couple was missing with their car for a while, found out it was an accident. They couldn't be seen from the road. It's this kind of situation, same kind of situation. Because I've looked at it and I don't I'm not getting anybody kidnap her or anything like that. I think maybe she just went out there just to chill. I mean, that's kind of how it comes. Why there? I don't know. I don't know why there. But that's what I'm getting for Jolissa. And now since I've been talking to her cousin, I've been seeing it all freaking night again. So that's why I had to come on here and tell you guys, because in case there's anybody that's in that area or can go look in that area, you won't be able to see her from the road. So Riverside, maybe down an embankment. If you go down the embankment, you might be able to see her. Or what are you guys chasing? chasing something. Down or like, you know, along the riverside looking up, you might see her, or maybe even from the other side. The maps suck. Like, I can't tell where's an embankment, where's a big clump of trees on the map. So her cousin kind of has an idea of what I'm talking about. She says it is actually wooded there, and it is kind of windy, and she could see that like sort of happening, unfortunately. I had to let it go for a couple days because I was just stuck. But now it kind of makes sense since she's not in Avocado Lake. I think the car's still being pulled up. Avocado Lake is a reference point, and again, I think it's the inner. I think it's just another interconnect. I think it's just this. It's in threes. So this is where this goes with the water, with the creek, river, and pond, lake. In a vision, it all looks the same. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes. So mostly what I just see is that car against a tree. I'm pretty sure this is where it belongs, because ever since I started talking, like, I haven't seen it since last week, and now I'm seeing it again now that I'm talking to the cousin. So it makes sense to me. Just knowing how my cases come in and interconnect, and how my cases come in and have so many similarities. This is what I'm feeling with this. And I could be wrong. Hoping I'm not. But, I mean, I hoping I am wrong. No, so her friend passed away, but not in that area. Her friend passed away like by a vineyard where it's really flat and nowhere near the Avocado Lake. So she does go there sometimes to, like, you know, sit and be, but that's a completely different area. That's like a vineyard area, but it's nowhere near this. It's completely flat. It's not near the lake, nothing. Because I was wondering that too, like where that was. I think she just like wanted to take a drive. Like, she didn't have anything to do. I think she was bored. She was bored and she wasn't in a good mood, and she was like just wanting to, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we get those moments where we just need to clear our head and drive and get away. I don't know how much she had to drink. I know that I saw that one bottle. You know, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or it's just, I mean, this could be the buck. I don't know. That I don't know, because in the vision that I saw, I don't know where the buck belongs. It was definitely part of a crash. I don't know what crash. Yeah, they've checked there. This is nowhere where her phone pinged at Avocado Lake, though. So that they've been checking the area from Avocado up to Flat Pine, but I don't think they've been checking, like, you know what I mean? Like, if she can't be seen from the road and not from a helicopter, it's got to be the area, though. It's got to be like between there and then that P name that I was saying. Because I was getting a P earlier, but it doesn't look very much of an embankment. And then she could be further, but because I see the pond and lake right there, I don't think so. And it gets like really windy. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to drive that road at night. Yeah, it's the Kings River. Yeah, it would be the Kings River. But I wouldn't want to drive that road at night. Like, if past the word that I say, Pateron or whatever it's called, past that, it gets like super windy when you get up to the lake, the Flat Pine Lake. I don't see her taking a really windy road up there. But I would just, like I said, it's hard for me to tell exactly where she's at because the map doesn't look like I'm seeing, and I can't tell where an embankment is. So it needs to be, it's off an embankment near a curve. There might even be a curve sign because I keep getting the curve sign again. And it's like a clump of trees, like by the river. Like a clump of trees down by the river, you know, that she would have went into. I don't know if there's any kind of evidence that she went down, because sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But that's just what I keep getting. That's what it keeps repeating. It keeps repeating over and over and over. Every time I talk to her cousin, it keeps repeating. So I think that's where it belongs. And I think just the crashing through the trees and not seeing anything afterwards, I think that was the Reno couple. And then it was like, so it's weird. It was like that stopped so that Kylie could be found. So it was like it's all happening in an order. You know what I mean? Like Reno couple, then Kylie, now Jolissa hopefully will be found. If we can, I mean, they're very open to what I'm saying, which is good. That's always a good thing. And I could be completely wrong, but I don't think so. Like I said, I don't see anybody kidnap her. I don't see her go meet anybody and like it turn weird. Especially since she was messing with her car and she pinged up by the lake. That just is kind of validating for my feeling. The fact that she kind of pinged out by Avocado Lake. And the area matches this. I mean, she said some areas are very wooded out there and there is embankments. She said she could totally see that happening in the area. And I felt really bad about because I don't ever say if someone's passed or alive or whatever. Like I try not to say that. I try just to give what I get and then take what you want from it. Just because, I mean, we can misread things. We can misunderstand things. We are not perfect. I am just trying to go off of what I'm given. And this is kind of, and I'm feeling super nauseous now all of a sudden, but this is how I'm feeling about Jolissa. I think this is where it belongs. Because the Reno couple, there was no pond and no creek on this side. It was on the other side. I thought, well, maybe it's mirrored, But now I'm rewinding my visions because I can do that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's just the crashing through the trees. Because I never saw where that one ended up. It was just, I just saw a car crashing through trees. Okay, so that makes sense to me because that's what happened with them. And then we have Kylie, where I saw the floating car down into the water, which it was deeper water at one point. On the sheriff's report, it states, I watched the whole conference, and they said she was at 25 feet at one point, and the water receded. That's per sheriff, not me. And then
You get the idea on Jolissa, right? I think we get the idea. I think I explained everything, right? Okay, we can go into the other stuff if you want to, because I just jabber on about the same stuff. I kind of bitch about the whole Kylie thing. Me. I kind of just have to make my point by repeating myself.
Right. Okay. I want to show your map first before we do the drone.
And like I said earlier in that other video, I was like, couldn't tell like if it was a river or a lake or what, because it was like I was seeing only half of a vision. It was like cut off. It was the weirdest thing. It was like I was in the car and I could see water beyond me and water to the side of me. And that was basically it. But at the same time, I felt like I couldn't get my door open, and obviously because it was on the side. So they were showing me like if, I guess, in a different way, like if the car was sitting up, that's what I would see. And it was like they cut off half the water, so it looked more like a river, and they cut off half the water over here, so it looked more like a pond. So from now on, I'm just going to say water in the, so, unless I know for sure, I think I'll just say body of water and, just some water in front, because it wasn't very clear on that. Can we make it bigger?
That's what I'm trying to do, but it keeps loading. There we go.
Okay, so as you can see, the curves right here. I mean, I'm a crappy drawer, dude. I'm a crappy drawer. But if you flip this around, I think if you flip it around, it doesn't matter. There's still water that way. But basically, the curve here, the trees down here, water here. It's basically water all around. So that was kind of my drawing. Not perfect. Wish I was an artist. And see how you can't see the car in the trees? That's what I kept telling them. I was like, you won't be able to see it. There's no way you'll be able to see that car. So, okay, that's good. Do we have to say who this is by first before we do it, or?
This is USA Today. The drone footage from them. It goes pretty fast, but
There's that curve. I can't believe that curve. No wonder that was so significant. You know, look at all those trees, the water. I mean, that part of the water does look like a river, you know, because it's like a finger of a lake. It does look like a river. So I could totally see how I would think that was a river. Look at that. Can't even see your car. It's like I said, in the trees down there.
Car's right
Can't even
here.
see your car. Yep. Can't even see it.
there it is. Right there.
Yep, you can't. There it is. Like you can't even see it from the road. You know, it's like, I mean, that's why I kept saying, like, you won't be able to see her, and there's not going to be a lot of evidence either. You know, was how it came across. Like it's just going to be. And I was like, you won't see her from a helicopter because a helicopter is literally 5% accurate. You're not going to see it. And look, no foul play is suspected, but people are running their narratives, of course, just like with Kylie. But I always go with what I get, and both of these were accidents, straight up. People don't like that. I don't know what to say.
Okay,
That's
so
what I was told.
So you have the road up here, her car's right here, and you really don't see anything.
Nope.
And then the water's down here, so it matches your picture like to the T. So
I could see how those fingers kind of look more like a river than, you know, like if you flip it,
right.
you know, it's almost like kind of mirrored. I mean, there's still water on the other side, but
Yeah. Okay, that's it for this one.
we don't get to play it.
Huh?
We don't get to play it.
That's literally it. It stops at 36 seconds.
But we didn't play. Did we play it or did we just go through it slowly?
Well, we played it. We played the whole video
Okay.
of the drone. It just plays really fast. See, this is just the end. See, and then it stops. And this is where I got the video from.
This area was searched once before, but once wasn't enough for Alcaraz. Investigators say Jolissa was in a single car crash the same night she went missing on August 7th.
And you've seen this.
That's because remember I said in the reading that I had like the front was crashed in. That matches that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so they still had to tow it up.
So tough.
Her car and body discovered just recently on Monday afternoon and recovered 24 hours later. Our station was there when the car was finally retrieved.
It was just a perfect storm. Someone couldn't try to hide a car better than that.
Yeah. No, it was just that road out there and all the trees and everything. It's just crazy. And, you know, with the cop going out there and finding her, perfect. I mean, people have intuitive punches. Okay, that's what people don't understand. Especially cops. Cops are some of the most intuitive people on this planet. They just don't know it. That's how they solve cases. That's how they do things. You know, it's more than likely he was being nudged by Jolissa, and part of the karmic thing was he's supposed to find her. And all these spiritual people should know that. We all have those psychic moments at times, you know, where we just have these thoughts and we don't act on it. Like I was thinking this whole time, man, I should have just contacted law enforcement and said, screw it. If they followed, great. If they didn't, great. So lesson learned, because I was so adamant about it that she was up there somewhere. I should have just done it. But, you know, I always get scared that if I'm wrong, they go up there and look for no reason. It makes me look bad. I think that's one reason why I didn't do it. But I mean, the cops are very, very intuitive. You know, it's those intuitive punches. We all have those, right? We're you know, we go a different way and there's an accident or, you know, just certain things in our life that we're really intuitive about. Jolissa probably prodded him, you know, or who knows, maybe he did get on YouTube and watch some psychic. Some cops are open to that. Some cops do that. Maybe he did. You never know. It's very possible. Probably both, you know. But spirit is very strong when they want to be, let me tell you. They want something said, they'll set it. I mean, look at what happened to me with her. I was totally stuck, and then all of a sudden I wasn't left alone with what I was seeing. It can be very, very, very strong about things. So that's where she went off. That curve is just so, look at that curve.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of curves there, but it's just interesting that it's exactly on a curve, you know? Exactly on a curve. And the water is really close too. I mean,
yeah. Like how the curve was in your drawing, it's right here.
Yeah. Yeah. The curves, I mean, it probably wasn't as curvy as that in my drawing, but it was the point.
You had the right angle.
Yeah.
That's where she went off. You don't really see much.
See, it's almost like she missed the curve, you know? And I did see, like I said, I did see her eyes close for a second and then open, you know, and then I get that deer in the headlights feeling. So either there was really deer, which is kind of weird, like a weird place for deer out there, but it could have been symbolic for like deer in the headlights, you know, when you close your eyes for a second, you reopen them and then it's like, holy crap. And it's too late to do anything, you know? And then I feel she kind of just went and then she just tumbled down. I mean, that's how it's coming in as we're talking about it, which is usually what happens when I talk about things. I know I was going to try to see if she had anything to say tonight after we were done with this.
Okay.
She's not very talkative.
And this is right after the curve. So the curves are right here where she went off.
And see, there was water on the other side too. So
yeah.
I guess I was seeing the whole body of water, but it looked like two in the vision kind of thing, you know.
Yep. That's all I got.
So that's our validation. I can try to see if I can channel Jolissa and see if she has anything she wants to say. Just to make the video a little more interesting, we can do that. I don't know what I can get. Like I said, I struggled with her at one time. And I am kind of tired tonight because I did do a reading earlier. But things have been coming to me a little easier lately for some reason. And like I said, I'm blown away by, ever since the Merced 4, it's like something shifted. Something shifted in my gifts to where I get a little more details on the lives. And I think part of that is, you know, because of Vanished and Forgotten, because I kind of bounce off her and get a little bit more energy to do the reading. And then I think that I don't know, just something shifted when I worked that case, because I was praying as I was looking on the map, like, I want to find this baby because she was crying. And she might have not been crying at that time, but when I heard her cry, it was like, I need to find her. And so at that time, and then seeing where they were found, it was like, okay, because every time I would feel something, I made a point of like understanding, okay, well, this is why I kept going back to this area. So there I kept going back to where they were kidnapped from and where they were found, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's like an obsessive feeling, like kind of like Quentin. I was getting an obsessive feeling of going back and forth from the house to the work, to the house, to the work, to Little Neck, to the house, to the work, to Little Neck, to the house, to work. And then I even went around another way and still ended up at Little Neck. That Southwest Church was such a pool, and I got so sick right there. I mean, I hope if he's got to be around there. He's got to be. I guess he does have to be in the landfill. The thing is, I wasn't shown a landfill, but I was shown a trash bag, and I heard a trash truck. So, she passed. I do feel it. Usually when it's something tragic like that, it's like that. So it was almost like that's why I saw the deer in the headlights. Now that I feel like it could be symbolic, a lot of people were saying that it is very. That might be a symbol now for accidents for me. They might use that because I do get new symbols all the time, but it's almost like because I keep seeing that and whenever I talk about it, it's almost like I can re-see the accident. We were talking about it the other night and I kept re-seeing the accident again. I kept seeing her tumble down the hill. But it's like, that's why I'm telling you guys, I know that these are accidents because I've seen their last moments. I've seen Kylie's last moment and I've seen Jolissa's last moments. And if there was anybody with her or any kind of foul play, they would have shown me that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you guys follow me and all of that because I'm kind of proving myself. I'm not going to be accurate all the time. I'm not going to be dead on all the time because I am human, not a mystical being. But I am telling you these were accidents because I was shown their last moments. And I am an actual medium. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm not some charlatan. I have lots of people that can testify on my behalf. And if you go back into my readings on the times that I've been right, it's not usually in your face. Quentin's going to be in your face so much is going to go, oh my God, because I'm even saying that now. And that's why I said something shifted with Merced 4 and with these accidents in my gifts. And that's a good thing because I'm understanding now about the pools on the map and the way things feel to always go to my first pool, my first instinct, and pay attention to where I'm obsessed to because obviously it means something. I never wanted to go to the other side. I kept going back, and in that bag where she supposedly dropped her bag is almost halfway. It's a little over. Close enough, right? So now I'm kind of understanding how I work. And, people that use pendulum and rods to try to get their answers, that's great. That's what they do. But if somebody that uses tools does not have a complete clear mind and no ideas whatsoever about what happened, like they don't have it in their mind at all, whether it's an accident, foul play, whatever, like they don't know and their mind is completely clear. If they're already thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, it's foul play. Oh my gosh, yes, this happened. And they have a strong feeling about that, that will come up in a pendulum or rod reading anytime because your mind can overpower, whether people realize it or not. Our mind is a powerful thing. So unless your mind is really, really clear and you can clear your mind completely, you're not going to get correct answers on that. Just telling you guys that for the ones that watch EVPs. Also, watch people that do those tools. EVPs can also be misunderstood. Cards can be misread, just like we can misperceive information. But when the facts back up, and just because the coroner says, okay, accident, does not mean that it's being covered up, for the love of freaking God. And even people are picking apart the video of her driving into the lake. It's like,
yeah.
Please, Jesus. So let me pull up her. I'm done ranting and raving. Sorry. I kind of get off on tangents sometimes. I do apologize. I get so frustrated because, you have people that are legit and genuine and we try to give the truth and then the truth gets all messed up. And honestly, Spirit doesn't like that. Kylie, let me tell you, when Kylie visited me in my car, I posted about it on my community page. She came to tell me thank you. I saw her in my shoes sitting in my seat and she had a sweatshirt on, she had tennis shoes on, and she was like sitting there and she was talking to me and she was telling me thank you. There's no foul play. She was upset at how this whole thing had gone out of control. And she had a conversation with me. And that was very real. That was very vivid. And that was my confirmation. And she came to tell me thank you. And it's pretty sad. Like when Spirit says their voice, when we give them a voice, And we can misperceive stuff, yes. But we know for, like, we are so adamant, because I was so adamant about Kylie being in an accident. I was so adamant about Jolissa. Like, when I feel so strongly about that, it's because that's what Spirit's making me feel. And that's the information that Spirit is giving me. And I will never go against what Spirit gives me, because they know more than I do. I might misunderstand it, like with Quentin. Someone said he was in a landfill. I was like, well, that's not what I saw. Because that's not what I saw. I wasn't shown a landfill. I was shown the church next to the landfill. I mean, and I was given the word south, and it's like southwest. And so that's why I was pulled to that church. And so I did see the trash bag go in the trash can and hear the trash truck, and that's all alleged, because we don't know if he's there or not, which more than likely they wouldn't be searching if they didn't think so. I gotta plug in my computer real quick. So, I think that when it comes to the boyfriend, allegedly, I feel like he is an accessory of some kind. And you're going to have to go watch my readings to see that. I was not shown exactly what happened, but I was referenced several cases. So, like I said, the reading number 2 on Quentin is there's a lot of good information in there, a lot of great information, actually. Just when I got to locating, I got areas around where he was. So, like the preserve and all that, that's very close to, if you keep going, you hit that on the other side of the landfill. So, I notice when I do locating, I kind of get further and further away, and like, it's almost like they start from where they are and they go further out with more readings. So I don't know why that is, but that's just how it works with me. So I'm just going to see if Jolissa has anything to say, if I can get any validating information from her. I don't know if she will talk to me, because I did not get a lot from her when I did the first reading. However, I was very tired at the time. I think it's allegedly, okay, like accessory after the fact or something like that. Like, or he knew or something. I didn't see him doing anything to him, no. I see that she was controlling and making him help her, but I don't know. Does anybody know if they were Catholic? She keeps showing me her faith, or I keep seeing like a Catholic church, and people are holding candles. So I don't know if there was some kind of candlelight visual that was done after this, or this has something to do with her. Hey, where are you? Oh, she left. Shazam, I can do this one with you too. Maybe. But I keep seeing that. Okay. There's also a reference to red roses, and I don't know if that's just because I do know she liked the color red, but she's showing me red roses for some reason. And I'm hearing the words, I'm okay. I'm with God. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a vigil or not. I haven't seen anything on that. Okay, so she's just referencing that. I don't know if it was at the Catholic church or why she's showing me a church. Like, she's showing me a church, and then I just see a bunch of candles being lit. So she's just letting people know that that's what she knows what was going on. So she's kind of like, she's taking me back to like what happened, and it is kind of like I'm just jamming. For a little bit, like when she just wanted to drive around the lake. That's what she says. I just wanted to drive around the lake. I wanted to go for a drive. I wanted to clear my head. There's a reference to like, I was in a pissy mood and I just wanted to go do something. And she's like, sometimes whenever you just want to go for a drive and clear your head, like that's what she wanted to do. And I feel like also when she drank, she would get a little depressed and over emotional. And I do feel like she was a little depressed, missing her friends that had been, that had passed. And I feel like she wanted to go and hang out with someone, but I don't know, like, again, I get that plans changed, or somebody didn't want to hang out, or she went off by herself. She's like, I know it wasn't a smart decision, I know it wasn't something that like I should have done, but I did it, and this is what happened. And she's making my chest really heavy. I do feel like, yeah, she's okay, because she's like, I'm okay, I'm with God. And I think she says it was important for me to be found for my family, because she's like, my family, they had all these other thoughts of what happened to me, and it wasn't right. It wasn't correct. I needed to be found for that. She shows me the police officer. She shows me that she came to him. I don't know if it was in a dream, because she shows me him sleeping and her coming to him. So that's why I think he had that feeling. And it was almost like it's time. And there was something about the date, which is weird. 10/10, I know she was found, and she's mentioning that date. 10 is a sign of 10 is a day of ending, a number of endings. So I think that she wanted to be found on that date. It had to do with when she was supposed to be found. You know what I mean? But she's having me circle that date as it being in importance. So 10 is ending. Well, he listened. And actually, I think he's very intuitive, but also I do think he's open to psychics. And I do think he possibly may have watched psychics, because there's something about that comes in. But she shows me, like, she does. I get kind of the same vision with her, where her eyes kind of closed for a second. She had been driving, and her eyes kind of closed for like a split second. And I've done that when I've been driving out here. I'll go like this and kind of squint, like to make my eyes open more. And it's kind of like that feeling. And then she just like went off the curve. It was almost like she saw everything too late. Like when she kind of, so I don't know if that means she was falling asleep. Because she gave me that in Kylie's interconnect number 2. So I don't know if that's what she's getting at, that maybe she was like kind of, he watched someone or something. So she's also showing me teddy bears. I don't know if teddy bears have been left, if there's going to be a memorial that's put at that site, but there's that. Also, she shows me a jersey, so I don't know if she wore a jersey or had a jersey type shirt, but there's some kind of jersey. I also see t-shirts that are possibly being made, maybe by her family or something for the funeral. She talks about, I don't know if she was really close to her dad, but she's showing me her dad. Like, her dad's like really tore up about everything, and she's like, my dad was a tough guy. But I don't like to see him cry. So I don't know. He must have. She shows me she's been around the family a lot. Okay, and I know they're probably never going to see this, because again, she shows me like they have a strict faith, or I keep getting that like Catholic kind of faith feeling. And she does say that like she was involved with people that were like, she was like, let's see, what is she trying to say? She says like she tried to be tougher than she was. And it was kind of like a facade sometimes, because I feel like deep down, like she was kind of depressed, and she was like an emotional person, or she could become an emotional person. But she's throwing gang signs at me, and I know like she like had ties to possibly a gang, but she's just like throwing that at me. And actually, she shows me she's standing with her friend over there on the other side. So she's just letting me know that she's with him. I get a reference to like she liked to party a lot or have a good time a lot. And I also hear the words like possibly overindulge. Like she may have overindulged sometimes. She said she was kind of a loud drunk. She says she doesn't like all the rumors. So I don't know if there was rumors that were going on, but she doesn't like them. She's like, I want to be remembered for who I was. I want to be remembered for the person that I was. And I feel like her actual funeral is going to be really huge. Like, she shows me a lot of people. So I don't know if she's really popular or she knew a lot of people or this really touched the area. She just says the words tragic accident. So she's just validating the accident. There's a reference to some kind of jewelry. I don't know if someone's got her jewelry or something like that. I don't really know what that means. I see pictures, like lots of pictures of her. So again, I don't know if at the service they're going to have, like, you know how they have slideshows of pictures. I keep seeing that. So I don't know if she's trying to show me that she knows what's going on and like she's going to be around for her service. Like that's what she's trying to show me. But she's saying it was her that was behind him finding her. Like, almost like she kind of haunted him is what she says. And it was for her parents. They needed closure because I think that their mind was running crazy with she's been kidnapped and she, you know, who knows what's going on with her and all of that. Like she needed to be found so that they could have closure. That comes in very strongly. And I keep seeing like these red roses, I don't know, mean laid or whatever. Hey, Shazam, can you take care of that for me, please? Okay, thank you. She also gives me the number 3. So I don't know what that means. How long was she missing? Was she missing was this the 3rd month or was she missing 2 months? What the 3 for? I don't know if there's 3 kids in the family. 3. There's a reference to 3 for some reason. I don't really know what it is. She says the words hindsight is 2020. So I think looking back, like she wished she would have made different decisions. But she says, but I'm happy. So, and she wants to be remembered for who she was, not what happened to her. It's okay. She's telling me she's sorry she annoyed me, and she didn't annoy me. It's just the repeating image annoyed me. I'm like, it's okay. And I don't know if that was her or just a psychic thing. Because I do get like psychic images like that. That's not always spirit. She's kind of making my stomach, like I have a sharp pain in my stomach for some reason, like the lower part of my stomach. I hear the name Javier. I don't know who that is, but I hear Javi. So I don't know who that is. Like he was called Javi, but the word Javier or the name Javier, I don't know if that's a friend, a family, or if that's someone that's with her on the other side. I'm not really sure on that. She shows me that she was with her mom and dad when they received the news because I see, she shows me like the police officers coming to the door. And she's standing with the police officers. Who is it? Is that one of her friends? Because I don't know her friends' names, but I heard Javier, but it's like they call him Javi. So is that one of the friends that were? Is that the one she was upset over? Because I don't know I don't know their names. She's probably just saying that she's with him. Is that the one that was shot? Do you know, AJ? Okay. Do you know? Because she's showing me a vision now, and I think she's wanting. I was just gonna tell you. I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say I'm getting orchards. And I was just gonna. Okay, I was just gonna ask you, because she's going into that, or he's going into that. Someone's going into that. It's her or him. But they were showing me some woman that was shot, and then I was getting orchards. I get orchards and vineyards, but like together for some reason. But he keeps showing me. I hear rival gang, and I keep seeing black guys. I also hear the word drugs. So she's getting into that now that she's on the other side. I think she knows who did it. I hear the word Marcus, or the name Marcus. I don't know who that is. But she's with him, and he's okay. It's both. I think it's both around that area, because I'm getting both. I'm getting orchards and vineyards at the same time. Okay. I wonder if it was a rival thing, because I do hear drugs, but I also hear I also see, it's weird. I see two black guys, but there's one. Okay, it was her best friend. Okay, so that's who she was, I think, upset about that night, but she's letting everybody know that she's with him, because I usually don't get a lot of names, but that came in very strong, and I don't know his name. So, but I think she called him Javi, because that comes in more than Javier. So she just wants to talk about that and show that she's with him, I guess, by showing what happened. So that's just a validating thing. And she's happy to be with him. Like, she's together with him again. She shows me they're laughing on the other side, and they're showing me they're kind of sitting in like a field of flowers. I get that a lot with people on the other side. Anybody know if she has sisters or a sister? It's like I hear sister, but then for some reason I hear a bassinet. So I don't know what that means. If like one of them's gonna have a baby or one of them has a baby, I'm not really sure. That's kind of not coming in very clearly, but she's talking about a sister or sisters. She takes me back to the accident again. She kind of just shows me the same thing, and the car kind of tumbling down the embankment. She goes like this, instant. So it was like this. It was like I close my eyes for a second, like almost like a deer in the headlight kind of feeling. I go off, but as soon as I go off, I'm on the other side. That's how she's saying it, and that's how she wants to say it. So that she felt no pain, that she wasn't really in the car as it was rolling. Like her soul was out. Her body was there, but her soul was gone. Her spirit was gone. So she wants everybody to know that. So that she did not suffer. She was not in pain. It was a snap of the fingers means it's instantaneous. And before she felt any pain, her soul went out. I mean, I will feel it because her body felt pain. So at this point, it's weird because she is kind of making me feel like I get kind of like a high feeling, but I don't know. There's a reference, like my head and my neck area is really referenced. it's almost like she keeps saying I should have pulled over and went to sleep. But I thought it would have been okay. I thought it would be okay. Plus, I think that she's like, there wasn't really anywhere up there. Like, she wanted to drive around the lake. Like, that's how it comes across. I wish she would have told me that before when I tried to connect and all that, when I was getting what I was getting, because then I would have known where to look for her, because she's saying she wanted to drive around the lake. And she's literally showing me, like, that's what she was trying to do. I don't know. I really don't know why, other than she just wanted to go for a drive. And she's alone on that road. She's alone on that road. Shows me rosary. So I don't know if someone's holding rosary beads and praying. She hears when they talk to her. She hears when they pray to her. She's very much around. There's a reference to like a big kind of thing with a lot of food. She's showing me that. And again, I feel like this is going to be kind of big, but she just keeps saying I'm sad for my parents. But I just, like I said, I feel like she's meant to be found the way she was found and how she was found and the time she was found. That all comes in as like, it is like a divine thing. It has a lot to do with like a karmic thing. And again, she wanted to be found for her family. There's a lot of closure here. And again, this was an accident. This was a tragic accident. And she is confirming that to me. Please, she's like, please do not put anything more than what it is. Please do not go into putting spins and drama on this. She says it was no more than what it was. That's what she's telling me. And she's being adamant about it. She's taking full responsibility for her actions and her decisions and what happened that night. She's taking full responsibility. And I feel like she could be reckless at times with making decisions. That's how she comes across, which is normal for a 22-year-old. Okay. So she had an older sister, like how old, or like one that could have a baby? I'm not understanding the bassinet thing. But I mean, maybe I won't get it. Maybe that's something that only family would know. Because I also get a birthday cake. So there's either a birthday coming up or just passed. I mean, I do. She does kind of show me that, like, she stopped at Avocado Lake and maybe smoked or something like that. Well, yeah, I know it does seem crazy, but you know, sometimes being on a freeway with a bunch of different cars is different than driving by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, some people are afraid to drive on freeways because of other cars passing and whizzing by you, but they'll drive places where it's, you know, plus if someone is upset, has been drinking, because I feel like she stopped at Avocado Lake. I really do feel like maybe she drank a little bit more and she smoked a little bit. And I think, like, again, her emotional state was not the greatest, but she wanted to drive around the lake. It might not make sense, but that's what she wanted to do. She talks about being reckless about her thoughts and decisions that night. But it's different driving on a freeway and driving on the road by yourself. And again, I just think I mean, sometimes we decide to do things. Maybe she was really brave that night. Liquid courage is, and I don't think that she wasn't like drunk driving, but maybe a little buzzed. And she was upset. She wanted to blow off some steam. That's what it was about. That's why she chose up there. She's not going to be driving where there's anybody else on the road. Something about the clothes she's being laid. I don't know if they're having a wake or whatever it's called. I don't think they can have an open casket. There's not for what happened to her. I don't know what this, I don't understand this is coming in. I don't understand it. Because I keep seeing her parents like picking out clothes for her. It's not really, I don't really know if she's going to be buried or not. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She probably drove up there so many times that she thought she knew the road. She felt comfortable driving those roads because she went up there a lot, apparently. So she's talking about a memorial or something. I keep seeing an angel as a memorial, so I'm not really sure what that's about. There's gonna be one at her grave if she's gonna be buried. I'm not really sure. Or if there's one that the family's gonna do somewhere or something like that. I don't know. I just keep seeing like one of those, those like angels that are like that people give, like people put like next to gravestones or for memorials, like those. And you can buy them. They're like statues, like an angel statue. I keep seeing that. I don't really know why. Well, like I said, she was drinking and smoking and, she was upset. She just wanted to go for a drive. And she thought she knew those, or like I said, she supposedly she went up there a lot, and, I think I remember being a little more brave at 21 and 22 than I am now because we're smarter now. Back then, people don't have fear. They think that nothing's going to happen to them, when you're that age. I sure did when I was that age. She said, I just want to tell my family I love them. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it went down this way. I'm sorry that I made the decisions that I made. But I love them. And she's like patting her brothers on the head. I can see her doing that. I don't know if she ever did that in real life, but she's going like this on their heads and kind of like going like ruffling their hair and give them a little nuggie. So I don't know if she ever did that. I also hear thank you. I don't know if that's directed at me or to others that tried to help find her. But I hear thank you. It could be thank you to the police officer. So if he ever watches this, then she's saying thank you. It's hard because I can't get a lot of stuff validated. She kind of throws a gang sign at me again. I think it's just something she did. But she, her and I guess Javi put their arms around each other and kind of turn around and walk into the light. Like they've said all they wanted to say. She said all she wanted to say. So, I mean, I doubt the family's ever going to see it anyways, but there it is. So there's a validation for Jolissa. There's a little reading on her. A little bit of a channel. about her thoughts and everything and what she's been seeing and all of that. So, if they see it, wonderful. If they don't, it's there anyways. And I'm going to get pain right here in my face. There's something, I think there's something with her face. I definitely get head, face, neck, chest area, and then lower stomach. Internal injuries. Obviously, it's a car accident, I know, but still, that's what's coming in. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to get off of here. And I hope you enjoyed the live and the validations. And yeah, that's it. We'll be doing Kylie validation, and we'll be doing one if they find Quentin. So I got to think about another reading. I got to think about who's next, who I'm going to come on and do next. I got to think about that. So, all right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your love and support and everything. Hit the likes and all of that. Oh, thank you, Karina. That's very sweet. That's very, very sweet. Make sure they know that. You better write that somewhere. I did see that he was found, but I don't know. I do have to put Dylan's thing up, so I probably will do him next because I need to put his video out and get it done and over with. So I got to put Dylan's video out, and I'm probably going to do an extra channel on him and then be done. I feel like Dylan is very close to the property he went missing from, either on it or very close to it. Okay, there's a reference again to wells and barrels. That's basically what came through in the reading. So make sure you write that down somewhere, though, because I don't want them being like, if I contact them and I, or something, I don't need them saying, oh, well, we don't listen to psychics. Okay. But I'm glad that you guys feel that way. Honestly, that means a lot to me. And I can't promise I'll find you, but I'll try. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate your faith in me. You probably have more faith in me than I do myself. But things have really shifted. They've shifted. Although it didn't seem very clear with her tonight, it's a lot easier when I can get validations. And maybe she doesn't really have that much to say. I think she just said everything she wanted to say. I think she kind of just validated, that she saw what was going on and what happened and things she wanted to say, and she's done. And that's her personality. Like, she's going to say what she wants to say, and then she's done. She's not going to waste no time. So, anyways, yep. All right. And I never know if someone's going to be found. I mean, unless I'm shown it, I don't know it. I was shown that he was found, but I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. A lot of things can happen. I felt like Jolissa was going to be found. I felt like Kylie was going to be found. And the reason why I felt Jolissa was going to be found is that I saw the car being pulled up. So I thought it was pulled up from water, but basically just the car being pulled up. That kind of told me she was going to be found. And that's kind of what I was thinking the other night when someone asked me to do another reading on her. And I'm like, dude, she's in an accident. She's up there somewhere. There's not much more else I can get other than to go on a map and try to figure it out. Yep, you're going to have to put it on your last request somewhere on paper. Definitely do that. Okay? Anybody else that... in case they go missing. Oh, goodness. All right. I want to jump off here and go take care of everybody. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe.